clarify it. But now,
Okay, okay. So, you know, as seasoned loan officers, when I'm talking to loan officers out there, I have to remind people, you know, when I'm aligning with the amazing expert home lending that I work at, I really had to look at I'm not selling expert. I'm selling Amanda Rawls. When I'm
Mhm.
serving clients and I'm doing loans, right? It's not the company I align with. Yes, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to what the consumer sees, what my clients see me, right? So when you're looking at places, and we have people that we love that have come and gone with places that we've been. I've had opportunities to come and go. You know, you have to really pay attention to, I believe, the three Buffini principles. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And do you know what you're doing? And when you align with a
I
broker,
shall not answer those questions.
and yes, yes, can I trust you? Absolutely. Anybody that works for you can say that. Do you care about me? And I have a laundry list, that can attest, and everybody that works for you, Rich,
Works with me. No one works for me. I hate that word.
I understand. I know. Everybody that works with you can attest. You are the best man, truly a good man, a good business person, honest and caring. Okay, so, you know, truly. And do you
I
know
did
what you're
not pay
doing?
her to say that, just for the record.
And do you know what you're doing? Come on, come on. 38 years? Is that I don't even know the number.
Oh my
Is it
god, don't say that word,
is
38.
it 38?
No, it's actually 36. September 1st, was 36 years. Good lord.
Right? I'm at
You're
28.
right there
No,
with
no,
me, so I don't wanna hear nothing.
no, no. I'm at 30 in April. April, yeah, 30 in April. But 30, come on, 36 years. Do you know what you're doing? Hell yes, you do. So all of those boxes are checked here at Expert. And this is not a sales, but this is just talking to loan officers that are looking at places and have opportunities. Because when you're a rock star, you know, I'm getting solicited all the time. And I have, sometimes I look, I'll say sometimes, there's pitching a lot. Okay, well,
Absolutely.
right? Let's talk. Nothing, nothing could touch the full package that I have here. And now, honestly, especially if it's a direct lender or a bank, I even talked to Golden One the other day. I just wanted to hear. And that has
Wonderful.
nothing, I've never worked for a bank or credit union. I can't even fathom working there. But you know what I wanted to do? What do they do? What opportunities are they providing? What programs do they have? Then, when we were getting ready to hang up, I said, "Buddy, listen, now I've got 20 more years on you in this business. And with what you have to offer, no disrespect, doesn't align with me. I want asset depletion. I want bank statement loans. I want my VAs with no, like,
What's the lowest
right?
credit score that Golden One will go to?
Shit, I didn't even ask that. But
I
could
was
you
a Safe
imagine?
Credit Union, I think they were, 680, something like that. They
Yeah,
wouldn't
I,
touch
I was going to say
anything below.
660. I
Yeah.
think I did ask that, to be honest. It was a month ago. I think it was 660. But the point of that is, things look good out there, but I hit that guy up at the end like, "Look here. I know you can't do everything, but I can. So why don't we just keep each other's numbers? And maybe sometimes if I have a golden one, sorry, client that, wants to use golden one, at least I'll have somebody to send him back to, right?
Mhm.
And I'm hitting him up for his turn downs. That was really what I got at the end of the day. But you have to look at the full package when you are looking at places. And I'll tell you, this is, this is Mortgage Ballers, not expert home lending plug, but this is the place to be. So
Well,
just
here's a question for you, and this is what it comes down to me, 'cause I keep it pretty simple. I have places I go to, they're my favorite restaurants, my favorite bartenders, my favorite servers, and I'm like, they're after years, there are some people that, hey, this is gonna be my last day. I decided to take a position over here. I'm gonna be bartending over here because I like the new bar or whatever. Cool. It looks like I got me a new bar that I'm going to because I'm following you. They all got the same alcohol, right? But I want her. She's good to talk to. I know her family. We go back years, and it's part of that interaction that makes the bar fun. Um, there's a restaurant up in Rockland, and it's called Primo's, and it's a small, little hole in the wall Italian place. And I know both those people. I know Primo and I know his wife. And they stop when you walk in. They come sit at your table and then they make incredible food. But I'm like, just tell me where you're going. Oh, we're getting out of this business. We're gonna go up. Cool. I'll be over there next week then, right? Because I'm following you, and that's what you're saying. Because I know that I tried to go to the direct lender world when I thought brokers were going down after the crash, and I went to Mountain West Financial, and I was going to open a branch. They said, "Cool, we need 1 year because you come from the broker world. You need to learn our side." I'm like, "Cool, I can do it." And I was selling their rates, and I'm like, "Good Lord, these rates suck." But I'm selling them because people trusted me, right? I could have been selling the worst in the world. I got into this business. My first 10 years in this industry well, actually, first 8 years in this industry, I worked at a broker when you charge 10 points on first, and we charge 10 points on. That's right, Fannie and Freddie, 10 points. They come in the door at 1, and my job was to figure out how to get them out the door at 10 because there was no regulation, and I learned how to do everything wrong, and eventually I said, "You know what? I'm not doing it this way. People are trusting me, and I'm not sleeping good at night," and I started having a conscience going, "This surely there's a better way to do this." No big deal. That's how that they did it back then. The beneficial, the home, household finance, AmeriQuest, you know, those models are gone. You couldn't do that if you tried. You wouldn't be in business. The competition, I think the consumers have too much information now. That was before internet, right? So you
Yeah, well,
couldn't
we
go
used to
on
have to fax our credit report applications. Do
fax.
you
We'd
remember
you'd pull credit on the little Equifax credit thing that was, I'm like, what is this thing?
Yeah, fax the recount, let it come back 24 hours, maybe 48.
Yes. I
Yes.
mean, but what we do now, but people have followed me for damn near 38 years. Their families trust me, and I'd rather make less and get 20 more deals a month because people trust me. And I still make enough because I'm doing right by people, and people follow that. We now have the refinance market heating up, and out of the blue, here they come. The models that open up just for the refi, they dial a dollar around the clock and drive people crazy, and everybody thinks we're all like that. But we're not, but they will burn and turn those leads, those trigger leads in. God forbid you get your credit pulled. I'm hoping to God they push everything through that we could stop that madness. But um, they're out there. UWM top 10. I saw two brand new ones, and they are lead driven, refinance. One is VA driven only. And you're like, okay, here they come. They wouldn't be getting in the industry if they didn't think the rates were coming. Cause I mean, they go big and they go big fast. And one of them's a bank. A bank is now sending deals to UWM. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I'm like, whoa,
I'm surprised. I'm really, but well, yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. They're not
nothing
the bank.
surprises me anymore. I'm always figuring out how we've seen it all. You've been right here with me. So, in my lifetime, the computer came out. In my lifetime, AUS, automated underwriting, came out. The ability to pull tri-merge credit reports with credit scores came out. You
Yes.
know,
Quickly.
we have a lot of electronic stuff, and it's always being rewritten. And this refi market will be rewritten in some way of its own. But people have been hungry, so watch it. They're going to loosen up and start just absorbing. But I'm hearing some crazy stuff. Amanda, are you hearing?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
hearing
hearing some crazy stuff. What are you
I'm
hearing?
hearing DR Horton. I'm hearing Lennar. They have so much inventory that they're talking about flipping it to build to rent, no longer
Babe,
build to sell models.
we've got a community here in Elk Grove that it is all to rent. The
All rent.
community, all
Yes,
brand new to
have them
rent.
too. I
Yeah.
have that near me as well.
You know, little disheartening, but as the builder or the owner of that land, huh, that's a great business decision for them. But craziness. And let's also talk about these builders. You've got your in-house lenders, right? Let's
Yeah.
dial on those, okay, that are really in business, that are right,
And who owns that
you know,
title and escrow company?
the builder
Right.
or the lender,
They
whoever, right?
corner the
They're all.
market completely.
And I say this to clients, and I have to go, I'm sorry for that terminology, but they're all in bed together. They're all together, right? Now, I have a client coming to me saying, well, they're going to give me a $20,000 lender credit. And then I see the loan estimate, and the rate is five and a
Yeah.
quarter. And the loan estimate, it's $20,000 to get the five and a quarter. So essentially, they're giving you money to buy the rate down, not cover your closing costs. Like the manipulation that's going on to try to keep the business internally, and it's always been probably what the last 20 years, truly, kind of a thorn in our side. But again, that's relationships.
Mhm.
I do more. I've got two going on with Lennar right now. The lender didn't.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty
the
good.
lender didn't get the business. I did, right? And let me just say, one of them, they couldn't do it. We could do the loan, they couldn't do the loan. So, they're limited as well. But you've got a lot of creative, and I wouldn't say dishonest, but a lot of things out there that are happening to get, movement and to get creative because I'm scrappy. That's my nickname when it comes to this loan biz, right? So I get it.
Wait, I thought
You
you were a
know,
market maven.
I am the market maven, but scrappy is my claim to, like, yeah, that's what I do. I don't go where the realtors are, and we'll talk about that. But, when it comes to being a loan officer, you've got to get creative and you've got to know what others are doing. This is important stuff, Rich. So thanks for bringing it up because it's real and it's happening. But when you get an idea, going back even to the Golden One call, you got to know it's not competition, right? Can we? It's not competition
Whoa.
because no, bringing it to you. But truly, nobody can do it like you. Nobody can do it like me. There's only one Amanda Market Maven. There's only one Rich Hanlin. And there's enough business for everyone. But you better get an idea what, in my opinion, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, but in my opinion, right, as a business professional, in my opinion, it's very important for you to understand what is going on out there and not from TikTok. Not, and I love it. I'm on social, but I'm saying by doing your own research, go in and be the consumer.
Mhm.
Go in and talk to a sales rep. Go and find out what the rates are, what the buy downs are. Get an idea about your community so that when a client comes to you and then they decide they're going to go look at a new home, you are prepared. You give that value add. You're serving the client, right? And you're there. And like you said, they're coming to me because of me, not for any other reason. So I better have my game up and I better be able to educate them and explain everything because truly at the end of the day, whose life is it? It's theirs. It's not ours. So we've got to be that professional and these different things that are going on around us. We've got to get an idea what people are saying and doing to nip it. People ask me questions all the time and I can give them the answer. So
Right, there's you're getting to a point that I think we need to dive deeper on this one because this is what's bothering me about my industry right now. With 620 loan originators, I get to speak to a lot of people. And I don't mean this disrespectful because if it's happening here, it's happening across the board. I don't care if Nexus got 3,000 loan officers, it's happening with 80% of their loan officers too. What makes us dangerous in this industry and also successful, I know all my programs. Hey, on the spot. I can talk. We can burn and turn as you're throwing red flags at me. I'm already got my head going, and I already know because I've done so many deals, but I can talk the talk too. There's no misunderstanding. Like, I'm not stuttering over my words. There's confidence. And they're like, this guy knows his shit and he's cool to talk to. Like, he runs circle. Yeah, I want you to hear me talk because then I want you to call the guy at Golden One. I want you to call the person down the street who's dialing for dollars. And they're just going to be pushing and trying to get you, give me that app, give me that app. There's going to be no education. My people are like, my God, you took me by the hand and you educate. I feel confident. And I tell people, take what I tell you and walk away with it. If you don't want to do business with me after you meet me and listen to how I talk, that's okay. That means we're not meant to be, but enough people do. And I have conversations. People say, Rich, how do you get like 7 out of 10? Because I have good conversations. How we're talking right now is how I talk to strangers. And I pick
That's
up
exactly right.
on, well, you pick up on anything in your life experience, Amanda. They start to even lean in a direction like you can almost finish their sentences because you're like, oh, there's a marriage problem there. Oh, you guys are talking about you going to grow your family. How'd you know that? Sounds like you're looking for a big house, and that usually ain't because you just want to get away from your husband, right? It's like, we got some more kids in the action. Oh, we're bringing mom home to live with us to finish out her life. And you can just flip on a dime to like, God, how do you know that? And it's like, because I've had 150,000 borrowers before you that have done something similar. And we're going to use all of that knowledge to help you get this done the way you want because I've seen people do it different ways. You're not alone. Let's do this together. Boom. Let's roll.
Yes. Well, and talking to loan officers when I'm training them and teaching them, when we're doing all of that, it is exactly that. It's listening, right? Like, and authenticity. And I do the same thing, Rich, not to beat a dead horse, but people come in here so freaking scared. They're scared of the no. They're scared to be
Mm.
turned down. They're fearful. And if you aren't freaking relatable and authentic and connecting and letting them know it's okay, and it's not a matter of no, it's a matter of when, and that you have been through hard times, that I am no different than you, because I mean, they come in here sometimes think I'm, like the president. Like, no, but
You
truly,
walk on
right?
water,
Like,
Amanda.
yeah. Oh, and again, heart is pure, mouth is potty, and I do not sugarcoat shit. I am who I am. And I have to, and I know my audience, right? If I have a very deep Christian family that's here, I'm not going to be cursing and things like that, but I'm also going to still be real, and we're going to connect and be authentic, have authenticity. But that is one of the key things I talk to loan officers about. Like, what do you mean? What don't you know? You don't know their budget? You don't know what they want to, what their goals are? Like, really getting in and caring and listening. And that the key to success in this business, everything else, there's all the variables. But the biggest thing is you can get 50,000 loans in front of you. You better sure as hell know how to listen and serve, right? Because and it's not selling, we're serving. We're giving information.
I
I
don't
don't
sell anything.
sell. Amen. That's what I say. I don't sell anything. I
I
give
educate,
options.
I talk, but I don't sell anything. Either you'll understand why you're doing what you're doing, or I didn't do a good job.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That's it. You give them the information. They come to you for a service, right? They're coming to you for a service. What we give them is options and opportunities. And if they decide that one of them works for them, I've succeeded in helping them. That's just how I've always rolled. So,
Well,
yeah, I
tell me
agree.
about this. Because I already know the answer because I guarantee you're going to answer this certain way. I just took some time off, and people are like, "Oh, you're going on vacation?" I said, "No, I'm headed out for a week here in at the end of the month. I'm going to go for a week up into Texas to a business boot camp. This one particular one's all men, but it's I'm going to be with 50 other business owners, and they could be brand new to Google CEO, but to be able to be there and bounce ideas, bounce problems, because I have my own problems, right? And you have a
Who doesn't?
personal life, you have marriages, you have kids, and you're trying to balance. Everybody's going, but the difference is, I'm going to take that back. They can't be a CEO. They have to be an owner of a company. That's the distinction. Um, but it's so you can't just be a W-2 employee working for Google's. I'm going to take that back. Rewind, pull it back. Um, but you're an owner or you're self-employed in some way because the struggles are very similar. And whether you just started or if you're getting at the end of 36 years or whatever, um, I like to have those conversations, but I'm educating myself. I'm not just going to sit. I'm trying to read books. I'm trying to stay relevant. I'm trying to learn. I'm never just sitting going, man, I had a great month. I've arrived. Like, you have never arrived. And
Never
that's,
ever.
I deserve nothing but to get out of bed tomorrow and help a thousand more people. That's what I deserve. My sister, before she died, she said something. I said, "Oh, Lisa, don't say that. Rich, I'm getting older. I deserve to drive a nice car." And I was like, "But you don't deserve the $1,000 payment that goes with the car you're talking about. You know, you don't make that kind of money. Let's find you a car within what you afford. And that's what you deserve. But don't, no one deserves the pain that's going to come month after month for 84 months at $1,000. And so when I hear that word, I deserve, loan officers, man, I've been doing so long. I deserve one good more run. I'm like, cool. How have you educated yourself to be ready for what I think's getting ready to happen? Or did you just sit around and putter around for the last 3 to 3.5 years going, well, I used to do this, but boy, I'm sure going to tear it up whenever it gets back to this. We have people setting records in this market,
Yeah.
right?
My
You don't,
God, Stephanie's killing it,
oh my,
killing it.
25 deals last month. That was
Holy
crazy.
shit. I was like, that was amazing. You're like, oh my gosh.
I
Yes.
couldn't
So
believe it when I did those numbers. I looked at it and I went, I have people that don't even do one deal a month. She did 25 in 1 month. We're talking about the Stephanie Gilbert. Just give her a shout out. Shout
let me
out.
give a let me give a plug to my female loan officer being numero uno. Just saying. It's all about
Yeah,
us
she's
women.
in Wyoming in a very small, limited market. Do not tell me that you cannot set records when you've got a business plan always carrying. I mean, she has a system in place and she's going to speak at UWM here in a couple of weeks.
I can't go
Yes, I know, because you were going to speak too.
my
She
birthday.
chickened out on us.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. But what was your question? You had a question.
How are you staying relevant, educating, finding more ways to do social media? And I know you're big in social media, and I try and find stuff. Matter of fact, I just bought 2 more cameras, one that will follow me because I want to start standing a little bit with I have a smart board behind me to talk about some things at my home that I have set up in my office. But I'm always just trying to find ways to stay educated and relevant on the market, to the news, to what we just talked about. Like, man, I just heard Lennar and DR Horton are going to go take some of their inventory and go build to own or build to rent. I heard Warren Buffett just put $1 billion into each Lennar and DR Horton, knowing that they're going to do that, and BlackRock's following it. And I'm going, okay, but let me tell you the opposite side of that. That doesn't solve an issue. And ask me if I should care about this or not, because I beat this horse. That doesn't solve an issue for getting people that are lower income first time home buyers into those houses. Because if you're going to rent them, you don't need to drop the value, no matter what the market is. You just, because
Right.
people will rent all day long.
Right. The asset's paid for.
There's a huge variance, vast variance, cavern between trying to become a homeowner for the first time. And I don't care how old you are. I heard the other day, like, what is it? Like 36 is the average first time home buyer now, or something crazy like that. Gone are
Yeah.
the days of 18, 19, 20-year olds saying, hey, I'm going to buy my first house.
Yeah.
That's
For
sad.
now,
That's
it's very
a
sad.
different conversation.
It is very sad. It is very sad. But to stay relevant right now in this market,
Mhm.
I don't do the traditional stuff. I go where the realtors aren't. I'm going and first off, I'm taking from my database. I'm making calls. First off, I'm blessed to, like we said, 30 years in the business. I have a following and I have people that know, love, and trust me. So I stay in front. Few years ago, I decided to do HELOCs. So because people didn't want to touch the 3%. Well, as these rates are starting to drop a little bit, right? People are still racking up debt that we've all paid off. They may look at combining the two, right? Refis. So just letting them know what the different things that are out there are. I have been doing some TV stuff.
I've
I've
been
been on
watching
Fox.
that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, give a plug. What TV have you been doing, Amanda?
I've been on Fox 40, and I'll be on 2 spots in September. I'm
Nice.
waiting for the dates, probably September 11th and the 25th. 26th is my birthday, just a
Happy
reminder,
birthday.
No, thank you. But 2 spots in September, but what I am doing at this point in time, and what I talked about in August was Homes for Heroes. See that right there? I aligned back up with Homes for Heroes, so that's another thing that I've done. I had been in that organization from like 2019 to 2023, and with the shift that happened, I backed away a little bit. Here, I'm back picking it up again. I have been calling my realtors and talking about doing any type of help. I'm a great social media girl. I've taken what am I doing? I've dug in. What are my strengths? And I'm presenting those to those I know or those I don't know. And I've taken it a step further. I was just sharing with Sylvia here in the office. Every transaction that I'm getting now, I have always been made a point of calling the listing agents or sending an email, essentially sending an email, giving them an update. But I know I have a gift of connecting with people, right? And I want to get to know people. I love humans. So I'm calling listing agents. I'm calling the buyer's agents because, like I said, I have clients that come to me. They may already have an agent, right? They're not going to use their lender, the agent's lender, so they're coming to me. Babe, I called a listing agent the other day. I got one in contract in Santa Maria and the buyer's agent. It's a VA. I've helped the family. And I said, and hey, and you don't need a pest. Just, I'm going to send you over the form if you want. It still has to have a site inspection, but go through the whole rigmarole. And both of them, kid you not, are are you sure? Like, I've been told by many lenders, actually, the last lender that the buyers had, because they had actually gone to her buyer agent at first, or her lender, said we have to have a pest. And I said, well, no disrespect, but you're just talking to the wrong lender, period. Right. Which I received that buyer contract. I got an approval in 1 day. Appraisal came back in 2 days. I was clear to close within 7 business days. But by
Wow.
the 3rd business day, yeah, but by the 3rd business day, I had loan approval, appraisal in. She calls me on a Saturday, last Saturday, and says, I have another buyer for you in San Luis Obispo. $1 million purchase. Just by connecting and calling and saying,
Confidence, educating, solving problems, and
and a
people
teammate.
do not understand that overlays exist even to in today's market, depending on who you're going to. Even brokers can run into overlays depending on which lender they go to choose things. And there are some lenders that do not have overlays, and you're like, "What do you mean I can do a 500, FHA or no score FHA?" You're like, "That there's no way." It's like, "Well, you can, but is it gonna be an easy loan? No, probably not, because it's not the norm." And believe me, they pick the cream of the crop by the time you get to that point. But, I've never seen so many questions on and you probably see the Facebook group too. We have a closed Facebook group, Expert Home Lending. I've never seen so many, like, "Wow, where did that deal come from?" Like, just very interesting deals. I mean, I feel that's we're at that blowout phase before the normal, "Hey, I've been on my job 20 years, worked for the state of California on W-2." Like, those deals haven't been around for a while. we get the creative stuff. Like we're at the end of the creative uh, world of loans. At least it feels like it. Um, if they truly drop those rates 3 times, starting in September, and then what we got November, December, or is it? Oh, it would be September, October, skip November, do it December. If they truly do that and they keep the guidance going, that'd be 75 basis points. Who knows? Maybe they get a little more aggressive. Where that would hurt us if they don't follow through. He has indicated, we got Goldman Sachs saying 97% chance of a cut. It's when you don't come through with the guidance you've given that you really can cause some headaches. That would not be a good thing for any of us, let alone the economy, whatever. But I think they're going to come through, and people are going to start waking up again. Like I mean, 20 and 21 was crazy. And I don't think we're going to see those kind of rates, but everybody was in tune. They were watching, they were listening to their favorite loan officer, giving them advice and things like that. How many people do you know that aren't even on social media? Even in today's day and age, like there's some validity of it. What is your Google resume? Pull up Amanda Rawls and you're going to get 5 pages worth with video and TikTok, all kinds of stuff. That automatically brings comfort to people that don't necessarily know you yet or personalized because you just jumped to the front of the line versus somebody that, gosh, you don't even pull up if I try and do a Google search. So now you have the opposite side. Well, I work for Golden One. Here's the thing with Golden One, people, if you're listening to this, no different than Safe Credit Union, B of A, Wells Fargo, any of them. They put their information into the little slot that they send you your thing every month, whether it's online or in the mail, and it says, hey, if you need to refi, give us a call. They just sit there and wait for the calls. And then they're going to run you through their gamut of who qualifies and don't. And they're going to use wording like you don't qualify. They're not going to say you don't qualify with us because we don't do scores at 679. They're just going to say you don't qualify. Oh, I don't qualify. I can't buy a house. I can't refi. Thank you. Meanwhile, your friend down the street is getting their deal done and they have worse credit and things like that. That's what's the problem with people. If I can't do it, I will send people, hey, I think I can't do it, but here's why. Try this place. I've had people come in and say, you know what? You're with Wells Fargo. You walk on water. Start with Wells Fargo. I don't want you to find out after the fact that you could have got, they will pay all your fees. They'll go negative to keep you there. And then if they can't do it, then come to me. But I'm not doing my
Yeah.
job right if I don't tell you that.
No, and the banks and the credit unions, you're absolutely right. The limited programs that they do have, that tighter lending restrictions,
Mhm.
just on Wednesday, today's Tuesday, received a referral from a past client, her hairdresser, who was denied house is on free and clear, wants $150,000. Wells Fargo took him all the way through, made him pay for an appraisal. Well, they make you pay up front that $500 fee. Um, so they get you in. They'll try to lock you in. Um, denied her, denied him, couldn't give him the money. And I said, well, do you know why? He has no idea why. Now, I'm not saying that everybody remembers, right? Because once you hear no, sometimes you turn out. So this is not a disrespect on maybe that loan officer. But my point is now he thought he had no options. He's sitting there doing her hair, upset as shit because now he can't get money out of his asset and thinks he no is no because Wells Fargo said so? Come on. Come on. It's crazy. The banks and credit unions are so limited. So, yeah.
Right. They have their place. Absolutely. If you walk on water and you have lots of assets, they will bend over backwards. But they're going to let you open up a bank account even if you have less than perfect credit. But it's just when you try and take advantage of one of their opportunities, like a loan, that's when you're going to find out that you're not quite Wells Fargo material. But don't think that you're not able to get something. Not all lenders are the same. They're not. They have their parameters. They stop. Mortgage brokers we tend to have less overlays, and we are going to take the blinders off and figure out how to get it done rather than tell you all the reasons you can't get it done. And sometimes it's just a matter of "Hey, I know how to fix this one thing that's causing you the headache. Let's do this. And in 30 days, I can have you into an approval status," right? Because we understand how to fix credit. We understand how to say, "Oh, we're getting close to filing taxes. You're almost 90 days out. And if we could get this year because you're doing so good, how about we make a 90-day plan? And we're going to work on your credit a little bit, get you up to that next category, and we're going to do your taxes right with what we saw last year. You're going to be a homeowner in the next 120 days." It's a different conversation instead of saying, "Nope, nope, you fell
Right.
short again," right? It's like, give me some solutions.
Yes. I one of my agents literally, and you know me with videos. I have no problem. Like all this, right? I'm live TV, right? I have no
Yeah,
problem
yeah,
speaking. But I had an agent who wants me to put a vid who wanted to put a video of me on her website as her preferred lender, and I struggle with this video. And it was like, and then finally I was just like, "Shit, chill, like, act like somebody's in front of you." And at the end, nothing's scripted. I never script anything, any of
I
my
agree.
videos. My girls, the team here was always like, "Nothing? You don't have, like, something to go off of? Why the hell not? It's all here, we got this. It's in my soul." Um,
It comes out genuine, I believe, when you do it that way.
right, me too, me too. And, at the end, which I'm just gonna keep saying this, is at the end, I said, "And with me, it's never a no. It's a matter of when. So let's get together, see if it's now, and if not, we'll set a plan for when we can get you into your first home, your move, whatever." And that is the philosophy that I think hopefully most all loan officers should have. But it's not a no. But at the banks, if they can't, that's it. If you that square peg doesn't fit my round hole, it's not happening. Sorry, there's nothing we can do for you. And I have a story about a bank loan. 2003, I received a referral from a past client, TJ Delaso, bless his heart. His daughter and husband work for United Healthcare. Okay,
Mhm.
he ended up being a CEO, but he was the manager at the Hazel office. Okay, they were buying a $1.5 million home, and you know what? I probably shouldn't give all the details, huh?
I'm
That
thinking
was way too detailed.
2003, 1.5, this guy was rolling.
Right? Long story short, this past client on the current home they had, the HELOC had a few lates. They were out of the country. She absolutely, when you have a shit ton of money, I'm sorry, tends to happen, right? Oh gosh, I forgot, right? So that was what happened. Well, they were looking at a new home. They denied them. And they had money in their accounts there. They had money market, they had IRAs, they had all the things. And so she's freaking out, right? Because they're in escrow and they're being told no, and came to me from the dad. Of course I closed it. Of course I got it done. And they turned around and pulled all of their assets out of B of A and took them someplace else. Um, you know, Moral of this story, the client for life. I end up being, a internal lender for the company on the intranet, right? So one one opportunity to help somebody changed my life during that time. And being in touch with 5,000 employees of his, right, at the office. But it's just going that extra step, and I was a broker. Um, but going that extra step and helping, you never know, that one deal could take your career to a whole nother level. So
Yeah, I find, people also feel dirty when they're turned down, like, and it's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa,"
shameful. Yeah.
Um, I can show you, including my own life when I've been on the other side of the word dirty, like not having a good time. We've all been there. Um, we all have those seasons, and if anybody treats you differently, like they haven't gone through it, um, guess what? It's right around the corner for them. But I understand what it's like to file bankruptcy. I understand what it's like to get those phone calls around the clock until you finally file, and then it's just like, thank God the phone call stopped. Because life can change on a dime, whether you like it or not. I've seen people's health. I've seen a woman lose her husband. I've seen a husband lose the mom, and all of a sudden he's got kids. Um, Life never stops. Tomorrow's not guaranteed, but yesterday's gone. The question is, can I be the best today? Here's a story.
Okay.
I always tell my wife, like, man, make sure you invite everybody if I go down, right? I don't care if you got to fly them in. Man, I want so many people there. I want you to feed them. I want them drinking. I want them partying. And she's like, sure. And she winks at me like, you'll be lucky if anybody shows up. And I'm like, don't tell me that. Just tell me what I want to hear. Because once I'm gone, anyways, it won't matter. But my sister, I thought she had a lot. She had a full room. And I was like, God dang it, man. These people are like lining up, get in here. And there's like 200, 300 people. And I was like, wow. Um, but just recently, on August 26th, a gentleman in one of the groups I'm in, he shared that his mom, 65, had been diagnosed on August 1st, and on August 26th, she passed away, diagnosed with cancer, and boom, she was gone by the 26th of August. Like she went downhill fast. And I'm coming home on Friday night of this last before the 3-day weekend, and I went out on the boat with my wife, and we saw the sun go
Son?
down,
Yeah.
playing a little country music. But on the way home, we go by a car dealer along, and they put these like 100 giant American flags, 100-foot flags that wave. It's so cool to look at. And but it was half mast, and I'm like, gosh, I wonder why it's half mast. My wife's like, what do you mean? I tried to explain what that meant, and I said, I don't remember anybody important dying, anything like that. And then on Sunday, I was coming along, and another car dealer had theirs at half mast, another big giant flag. And I'm like, God, I got to figure out what's going on. I don't understand. I haven't seen the news, anybody passing. Well, just this past Wednesday is when one of the guys in my group shared that his mom had passed. And what he didn't share until then was over 3,000 people showed up to her funeral. She worked for like the city or county. She like, if you needed a permit, you go into all these years, people go in and, oh, I can't pay this bill. I can't pay that bill. I have a hardship. And she was always praying for him, right? Oh, let me pray for you. It's just this little county lady always like, I can't give you money, but I can pray for you. And in Georgia, that's a big deal. People praying on the spot. And if 3,000 people showed up, it was Labor Day weekend. There was probably another 10,000 just couldn't make it. They were half mass for her. She has touched generations. They had people showing up telling stories, going, just elected officials that were just like, this lady touched my life. She touched my mom's life, who then touched my life. And I'm like going, that's how I want to go out.
Yeah.
Well, anybody even care? You're gone. It doesn't matter. But at the same point, people, are we touching enough people? Because if you don't know if anybody's going to show up to your funeral, then you better get busy and make it about somebody else besides yourself.
Amen.
Because I have to remind myself every day, I need to be better. I need to help more. I need to get more people in houses. I need to listen a little more. I need to be a better dad. I need to be a better husband. I need to be a better friend. Because when I'm done, I want someone to say something good about me, not because they got paid. I mean, I want to be, you're going to be remembered for about this long. So go out strong, man.
Right?
Do some good stuff. Help some people along the way. Drag a couple people with you, even if they don't want to come.
Especially right now, the caring part,
Yes.
that, people don't care about how much you know. They want to know how much you care.
Woo. Say it, girl. That might be a
Uh,
slogan on the back of my car.
right? I'm telling you, it's like in this, we are so blessed that people trust us enough to help them guide themselves, right? Through this financial experience. And taking that approach as a loan officer from the beginning, you know, it's not about what you make. Yes, can you make it's infinite. You can make as much as you absolutely there's no cap. That's why, and again, I will never go back to being I'll do whatever I need to do, but working for somebody else and push, no. I want to be able to sky's the limit. but I don't think of it like that. I think about how I'm serving. And the money, okay, fine. But people jump into business, be a realtor because they want to. God, everybody jumps in to be a realtor. Why? I don't even know. But, they jump in because they think, oh, I can do a side job. I can make a quick
And they
buck.
treat it that way.
And they treat it that way. But when you go in and you're like, you know what? I want to make a difference. Like you said, Rich, it's key. I want to make a difference. I want to touch hearts. I want to help families. I want to be here. And when I started my business, it was from a collection. I was a collector. I became a loan officer because I saw the possibilities with doing a refi for somebody and paying off those bills. And then I was like, I know the collector lingo. I can serve and help them rather than being the person that calls and tell them I'm gonna take their firstborn and all that stuff. It's awful business. I can be the servant heart and I can help. From the moment 19 April 1996, that was my goal. I hit up collectors to teach them how to teach the debtors how to call me if they because we do all that, updating or they do all that updating. So they know if you own a home, they know how much you owe on it, they know the value. Um, so going into your niche or where you come from and utilizing that from a caring aspect, I mean, sky's the limit on the hearts you can help in this business, truly. So,
I had somebody, fly in yesterday from Arizona, met him for dinner to talk about possibly coming to expert, but they're like, "I need to see this place," and they stayed overnight and came today to the office like, "Are you guys real?" Come from the direct lending world, but he said something because he has a team, and, it just kinda stuck with me. He goes, "You know, I have an office in Arizona, but it's empty all the time. I won't let my people come in the office unless they're turning in a loan, because the loans ain't sitting there in the office and your phone ain't just automatically read. If you need business, all those human beings are right outside that door. Get out there." And I was like, gosh, that's actually great advice. It's what we're talking about here. Yes, you and I have a lot of people that we've earned over the years, and they remember us. We've left a lasting impression. And everybody I get now adds to that. But that didn't just start yesterday. That concept, that caring that you talk about started with the first person 36 years ago. And if you do right by somebody, you will back build on those people. They'll tell somebody, especially in a market when it starts to flow a little faster. When people say, "Oh my God, you're thinking about refinancing," you need to call Rich Hanlin. You need to call Amanda Rawls. I don't know Amanda. No, but you know me and you know I'm picky. This is your person. When people are talking about you like that, man, you're stacking your corner. How do you get that? How does Stephanie Gilbert get that? Doing right by people, consistency. She'll do a small loan just as fast as she'll do a big loan. She treats
exactly.
them all the same.
All the same. Less than perfect credit to impeccable credit. There's no
Yeah.
differentiating because at the end of the day, and you talked about that, the struggles, how we've bankruptcy or I short sold 2 homes. Like I talked to clients. I mean, during that '08 debacle, all the stuff, like nobody's immune. We're all in this together, and that caring, connecting, and servant heart is key, and that's exactly why Stephanie's successful. That's exactly why they keep coming back. It's why they'll always come back, unless they're, fed a fed a big thing, like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you X amount of dollars, whatever, for closing costs," and, you know, you can't not everybody is to work with us, right? So, but staying in front, communicating, serving, and yeah, I'll tell you, there's so much opportunity, Rich. There's so much opportunity out there for loan officers right now. I mean, get your bucket out. Like it's falling right now, but it's not going to just come to you. You have to also do the work. So many different things that I have in the works that I'm doing seminars on, and we were tapping on that before from a servant heart space, tapping into what I know. I know videos, I know social media. Well, I have agents that don't even know how to post a reel,
Mhm.
and their friends don't either. So October 1, me and the girls, we're doing a big event, inviting whoever, bring your phone, and I'm gonna help them get familiar with how to
That's
post
a great
nothing,
idea.
right?
That's what I'm talking about right there. So many places you can take a class, but with that, it's like, bring your phone, you'll walk out with a reel, right?
Gonna
You
shoot a
will be up and running, now just rinse and repeat. Do we need to make 5 reels while you're here? That's where the broker world, I think, misses it with some of these, AIM and all that stuff. It's like, send me away with something that's now working. Point me in, if you do this, this, and this, you'll probably start getting some calls. Cool, let's set it up right there on the spot. Let's have a break off class. I want to learn this. I'm going to walk out of here with 5 reels today, and I'm gonna get it going. Versus let me get back home. Let me go back what Manda said. And let me try this now. It's like, no, no, you're walking out of here with an active
Wow.
Instagram account, TikTok account. I'm going to show you how to link them all together. I'm going to show you this, this, and this. I'm messing with this thing called School, Skool.
Me too!
I'm trying to learn it a little bit.
Yes, me too! Me too!
Put some recorded stuff on there to
Yeah,
walk through. Yeah. So
I
I'm
love that.
messing with that a little bit, but again, people are, my wife's a great example. She's like, God, why can't you just chill out? And I'm like, I'm just not built that way. I know this is out there. I see these guys doing these subpar things, and I'm like, I can do better than that. It takes some energy, it takes some time, but I'm not afraid of putting the energy out there. Just like that guy telling his guy, get outside the door. I tell myself that every day. Like, get outside the door, go talk to somebody, go do something, go talk to another group. Um, I love speaking to people. I sit at the bar and my wife is like, "Oh my god, we're gonna go sit." She likes sitting at the bar, but she knows I'm gonna talk. I want to know everybody around me. I want to know, oh, what's going on. I don't tell people, "Hey, here's my card." I don't even carry
She
a card.
do. Is she like this? Like, "Oh, here we go
No,
again."
she's good with it now because it's. I think she's learned that I'm not gonna. If I was working them for business, that would be weird. But I want to know people, they're smiling, they're laughing. I want to join into that. Like I said, the bartender that she's always good, get to find out, catch up with her every week, what's going on in her drama life, and it's loving on people is really what it comes to. Like, gosh, this guy's kind of open. It's like, yeah. And I ain't selling you nothing. There's no Amway
No,
in my back pocket.
there's always and the blessing that's number 1, God, universe, Buddha, whatever you believe in, it is a frequency of love, and we are here to do that. At the end of the day, that is our soul's purpose.
Good way to put it.
And when you do that, you know how much more you are fulfilled? How you get to just learn about a stranger's life. My husband came home from working down in LA, and he had changed his flight sooner, and I missed knocked out Friday after work, and I missed the text, and so he's like, "Hey, I'm here." I was out. I wake up and I'm on the Uber already, and I'm like, "Oh," and he'd been gone for 5 days. I just wanted to go get right. I wanted to pick him up and go get him, and I felt like that. Ugh. But when he got home, to hear this story about the Uber driver that drove him and the experience that he had, I was just like, that was what's supposed to happen. Like,
I like those stories.
yeah. Yeah, it was in Georgia too, and the guy's out here, and he did some time in prison. It was not warranted. MMA fighter's dad. It was just
Wow.
amazing, amazing story. And he's watching him on the YouTube when he got home, right, and showing me, and it that was just a beautiful, just an example, but of connecting with another human that experience wouldn't have happened, right? Had I not, picked him up or had I picked him up. But we do the same thing when we go out. We sit at the bar and we talk to people, talk to bartenders, talk to people around. I mean, the connecting, it lights us up and we're getting filled and then we're pouring it back and then it's compliments and then buy you a drink and all you're doing is just being a beautiful human. And it's not very hard, but the frequency and what we're putting out is so important. And don't let it be in your area because then again, we're not selling. But hell, when they turn around and see me on Fox 40 in 2 weeks, then they're like, hey, that was the chick at the bar. Oh, she does well. Oh, she was cool. I mean, you
Well, we
never
all know
know.
you're cool. We got that one. No, that's gonna be good for you because, you have that big personality and you look fantastic on I don't know what would you call it, on camera, say it that way. You know,
Thanks.
people have that
Yeah.
ability to look incredible and your positivity, I could see why they are doing it. Um, People need that right now. We're just not getting I don't need somebody sitting there reporting and the rates went down today. We don't know if it'll do it, but you should reach out. No, man, it's like just bring a little more energy. We've been waiting for 3.5 years, right? Do you understand? Some people are on the brink and they need hope. And with the lower rates comes job and employment expansion and it's the Titanic. Titanic's been turned around. Now we're just starting to crank it forward and turn up those miles per hour on that big engine. But it's getting ready to happen, and we've been waiting. You know, my son uh, was like, "Hey, Dad, you're always like saying stuff like, hey, the rates definitely looking good,' but like it sometimes gives false hope." And I'm like, "No, you're right. I try and bring positivity is really what I'm doing because a lot of people are struggling. I know that my 80% are struggling and my loan off, that means there's a family behind each one of them that's struggling. But they need to hear hope because a lot of them don't even watch the news anymore, right? But I do. I try and get news everywhere. I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly so that I can make decisions for expert home lending. You know, there's days I have bad days, right? And I got to call Amanda and say, Amanda, talk me off the ledge. I'm standing on the ledge. Um, because I take on, I know I got those moms or those families, and I'm like, dang it. I know that they're hurting. I know they're working 3 or 4 jobs. I know my 80% are working multiple jobs, right? And I put someone like Stephanie Gilbert doing 25 deals, and I know that sometimes it's defeating to them. But there's my thing. I'm going to tell them just like that guy tells his people get out from sitting at your house, sitting behind the computer, waiting for your phone to ring because it's not going to ring, and just go somewhere. Go take a walk at the park. All the places that bring your positivity and just get consistent because it's going to make you feel good. It's going to brighten you up. It's going to give you the endorphins to, I think I'm saying that right, to get that smile on your face. Going to get that, get you tight a little bit as, going into the winter because you've been sitting. Let's tighten them bodies up a little bit and allow people to get that energy off of you and start going, gosh, I see you out all the time. What's your story? Well, this is my story. Oh my God. And my life has happened so many times like that, Amanda, that it's like, that's so weird. My wife and I are trying to think about buying a house, but we don't know where to start. And you're like, uh, that's how it starts. People are like, oh, people think that there's something special. I'm like, no, I insert myself into so many different situations and I never ask for business. I educate people, I help them, and the business flows back.
Yeah. And and this is not a lone story. This is a human story or situation. If people are feeling a little bit down or need a little bit of pick me up, go take waters to the homeless. Go do something for somebody else. Go give. Go take care of the teachers at the local school by your house because they're having to buy their own fucking materials. Go take care of your community. Go pick up trash at the park. But the servant heart element does something for us as humans that lights us up to be more caring, more loving, and all it's that serotonin. It's that antidepressant that we don't have to take. I mean, it's not rocket science to be a nice human and to give back, but you never know how somebody else just needs that smile even. I brought this up to people walking into the store. Smile at somebody. You don't know if they just lost their mom, their spouse,
Mhm.
whatever. I mean, just being giving back can do something for you. If you're feeling down and you need a shift, yeah, I highly recommend that. Just the giving and like you said, you're not focused on yourself, you're focused on others. And that's so
Hardest
important.
thing to do is give when you're having a bad day or you're getting your butt kicked, but it's also that's where I tell myself I'm in control, not the negativity. And even on my best day, I know there's people that are having a worse day, and they would take my worst day over their worst day. And, I am going to smile at somebody. I'm gonna hold a door for somebody, and they're like, "Oh, wow, thanks," because they're things have really changed over the years, but it's just, the small things people do see, and there are tons of stories where I've heard it from the other side where someone says, "You know what? Today was gonna be my last day, but somebody smiled at the store at me, and it told me maybe I'm gonna hang around for one more day." I know that's getting kinda bleak, but I hear those stories too through my men's group. There's like 50, 60 guys on a given Wednesday, all different ages and things, but boy, we get to hear some good stories in there, and it's just a reminder. You're still breathing, you're still rolling, you're possibly one breath, one day away from the biggest breakthrough you've ever had in your life. And some people say, "Oh, but my highlight was back in college. My highlight was back in high school." And I'm like, "No, your highlight possibly is still ahead of you if you'll allow it."
Yes. So true. So true. People, we're our worst enemies. Truly. We really are. It's like from the stories we tell ourselves and how we wouldn't talk to our worst enemy the way that we talk to ourselves in our head. And every fucking body's like that. All of us are like that. And being aware of that, but you're absolutely right, Rich. And we're probably
Uh,
preaching now, but it's important.